Hello everyone, this is Dr. Jennifer Lanham, lead professor for your course. I want to take a few minutes to walk you through one of the most important components of this course, your final assignment, the Policy Analysis Framework Assignment. This set of assignments is the core macro practice project in Social Work 575. A policy analysis framework is a social justice tool used by social workers to examine how policies actually impact people, systems, and communities, and how these policies could be improved to better promote human rights and social, economic, and environmental justice. Here's the big picture first. You will be using one existing social welfare policy that is already law, not a bill, and you will analyze that same policy across the entire course. This could be a state or a federal policy, though I strongly recommend a state policy because it allows for more focused analysis. Large federal policies like Medicaid or the Affordable Care Act are allowed, but you will want to narrow your focus to a specific population or section of that policy. This is a progressive assignment, meaning it's built in 4 parts, and then a final paper. Each part is essentially a draft section of your final paper. By the end of the course, you will revise and combine those 4 parts into one cohesive professional policy analysis written in a single voice. Each part is worth 20 points, and the final paper is worth 100 points. So this assignment carries significant weight in the course. Another key requirement is that you will interview a professional who works in an area related to your policy. That interview must be incorporated into parts 2, 3, 4, and the final paper. This helps ground your analysis in real-world practice, not just theory. Let me briefly explain what each part focuses on. Part 1 is about policy selection and background. You'll explain why you chose this social justice issue, your connection to it, the history of the policy, who supports and opposes it, and how it aligns with the social work lens and code of ethics. Part 2 shifts the focus to the social problem and target population. You'll analyze who the policy is meant to serve, how it impacts them, including unintended consequences, and apply frameworks like the biopsychosocial spiritual perspective, human rights, and social justice. Part 3 examines policy implementation and practice. This is where you analyze how the policy actually functions, services, funding, interventions, bias, political feasibility, and how it affects agencies and social work practice at the micro, meso, and macro levels. Part 4 is your expert advocacy-focused review. By this point, you should be writing as someone who deeply understands this policy. You'll examine power, values, public reaction, gaps, future directions, and other professional recommendations for change. Finally, the final paper combines all 4 parts into one polished, well-integrated policy analysis that reflects your growth, critical thinking, and professional voice as a future social worker. A few final reminders. These are major academic papers, 5 or more papers per part, and about 20 or more pages for the final. You must use evidence-based professional and academic sources. APA 7 formatting is required, and most importantly, this is your advocacy voice. As the instructions say, go big or go home. Be the voice for your target population. Detailed instructions, resources, and the rubric are posted in Moodle. Read them carefully, use feedback from each part, and don't wait until the end to engage with this assignment. This project is challenging, but it is also one of the most meaningful pieces of work you'll complete in this course.